do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
It doesn't even enter my consciousness.
Hi everyone, welcome to Becoming with Logan Miche. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I wanted to do something a little bit special before I hop right into my episode. So we're going to do a little segment on getting to know Logan, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit more, and just so we can, get acquainted, So let's get into it. Question number one, I think this question was from one of my friends. What was little Logan like? So in my opinion, from my standpoint, I feel as though little Logan was just this very energetic child, very childlike person who wanted to ride a bike or play games or play sports, laugh and giggle and be jolly all the time. She did have a little attitude on her, just a little bit, I love something. But overall, I feel like, in my opinion, I was just this very energetic kid who, always wanted to do something. I always wanted to play around and laugh, and I was the jolly kid, I would say, in my opinion. I don't know what other people might say about me, but what I would say about me is what I just said. What hurts you? I think this actually came from my mom. Okay, I can't really pinpoint what hurts me because I suppress a lot of my feelings for a lot of stuff for a long period of time. So a lot of times I really don't feel hurt about a lot of things, but what I'm learning now, what makes me feel some type of way, is when I'm left out. I don't like being left out, and I don't like being yelled at. Also, when things don't really go my way pertaining to my career, who I want to be, that type of thing. What inspired me to get closer to God? Any change in events? So I was in a predicament where I wasn't about to get my car, and I prayed, I cried, I shouted out to him, and he heard me. That blessed me real bad. He heard me, and a couple days later, I ended up getting the car that I wanted, and it just was like, wow, this guy is really who he say he is. The great I am, the biggest there is, Abba, Yahweh. And after I got my car, I had to come back to North Carolina because I got my car back home. And then there were instances where I had to literally rely on him and put my trust in him, because there were a lot of things that I wanted that I couldn't get from man. After I graduated college in May 2024, I couldn't get a job for a long period of time. And then I also moved to a new city. So I didn't have a job, and I also moved to a new city. So we all need to do the math. Plus and minus, division, multiplication. I moved to a new city. I had to pay bills. I had just got a new car, got to put groceries in my house, get furniture, all the things. And I didn't have it because I didn't have a job. So fast forward, I had to pray. I had to cry out to him some more. I had to wake up in the middle of the night. He was waking me up every single night. Like clockwork. 5 a.m., 3 a.m. It wasn't a night that he didn't wake me up. And it was just that intimacy that he needed from me, that I needed to have in order to get what I wanted. So in order for me to get what I wanted, I had to give him something, which was my time. So, that was good. It was one night I was asleep. I will never forget it. It was one night I was asleep, and he gave me a little thing that they give you after you've been accepted for the job, like the congratulations, the offer part, all that kind of stuff. He gave me that dream, and it was the job that I wanted at the place that I wanted as well. And it still didn't happen till like a couple weeks later, but I had already knew that it was going to happen, just as it had happened, as he told me that it was going to happen, And when I got the letter, it wasn't even like deja vu, which is like, this is really what he already confirmed for me. So that's the second time that I was just like, oh my gosh, whoa. So yeah, he showed up for me again, and then a third time for my business. I was doing my research for a long period of time, praying, you know, crying out to him, all the things and stuff that I said previously. Then he showed me where my first location was going to be. So he gave me another dream about what was already mine. And I'm just like, I don't got no choice. I don't have no choice to believe in this guy. I don't have no choice but to believe that he is the great I am, the one who said he is going to be. That's when I realized that in order for me to continue my walk in faith and continue to get what he had for me or has for me per se, I had to give him a little bit of something too. I was growing to him more. I just realized that this guy is who he said he is. So I have no choice but to follow him and follow him the right way. So it was a series of events that led me to where I am now. And I just want to let you guys know, you should try it out. Another question was what motivates me / what drives my life. My motivation literally just comes from not wanting to be a failure. Yes, we fail in life because we're all human beings. We all make mistakes, things like that. But I don't want to be someone who had every opportunity and then missed it. I don't want to be stuck in a place where I can't get out of. I've always had the ambition, I always had the drive, I always had the mentality. And then now, my family is a big thing for me. I want to give them, you know, the lifestyle that we didn't have while I was growing up. And my sister also just had a baby, so my niece is everything to me, and I will give her everything that she wants. So my drive really is my niece. So another person asked me this, could you speak on faith and control? They said, I need some guidance. So for me, let me put my phone down. So for me, this is something that I have been struggling with, control. Faith and control do not go hand in hand. It has to be one or the other. Faith comes from just not seeing and believing. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Because, of course, when we see it, it's believable. But when we don't see it, that's where we get tripped up at. We have to be able to walk in faith without wanting to know where we're going, wanting to know what we are looking at. We can't see him, but he's there. We can't control what it is, but it's there. So we have to literally let go of the control and just trust that something's there. That's literally it. We have to be able to just read our word, talk to him, pray to him, try to understand him as much as we can, because I mean, he's infinite. It's so much stuff that we can learn about him on a daily basis, like per second, per minute, per hour. And when we do that, the control falls off. Anyway, the control literally falls. And then we have nothing but the faith. Because once we learn him more, we learn that all he wants from us is faith. All he wants from us is trust. All he wants from us is to believe that he is the great I am. So, walking in your faith and losing all your control is the way to go. How's life been post-college? To be honest, life has been great post-college. It really, really has. I mean, yes, of course, it has its ups and downs. But after I graduated college, that's when I met the Lord for myself. So I've experienced a lot of things. I cried a lot of tears. I had a lot of bad days. But those good days, boy, it's amazing. So I feel like post college has been, just amazing. I learned a lot about myself, you know, what and who I want to be, not having to do everything every day, you know, go out, kick it, that kind of thing. I mean, I could do that if I want, but I don't want to. So, post college has been awesome. This is a really great question because I think a lot of people are dealing with this. How do you navigate being young in the world and on your walk with Christ? For me, I don't really care about what the world thinks. I've never been that type of person anyway. I've been so much like in a box, like my own box. I hear stuff about me, of course, you know, the things that people say, the rumors, and I laugh because it's like, y'all don't really know me for real. And if you did know me, you know that that's not me. But because I am young, you know, of course, sometimes I want to have fun, or I want to kick it, or go out and drink and that kind of thing. But that doesn't satisfy me anymore. It doesn't give me any type of gratification for what I'm supposed to be doing in my life for real, because we have to realize that even though we're young, we're still growing and we're still growing up. And it's just like, at what point are we going to decide to stop, you know, living in a fairy tale life and live in reality and what our lives really like consist of? Because what do you have to show for yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't care about what the world has to say, or, you know, being young or anything like that, because what he has for me is going to come in the position that I'm in. If I'm not in a position to get what he got for me, I don't want to see what that looks like. Another question was, what pushed you closer to God, if anything in particular? I love, let me say this. The questions about my journey, faith, God, trust, all that. I love that because a lot of people, my age in particular, don't really talk about it. I'm not going to lie. What pushed me closer to him was all of my shortcomings, all of my failures, all of the things that I did not have. It made me go to him. Like I didn't have a choice. And yes, I was walking in my faith and, you know, reading my Bible more and growing and all the things. But when you walk with him, everything starts to shed off that's not like him. I mean, everything. Everything starts to shed off. What pushed me closer was me learning who I was not anymore and figuring out who I was in him, who he wanted me to be, who I was becoming, basically. When you walk with God and you realize everything is solely because of him, you just start to think about stuff differently. Everything just like, dang, wow, I used to be like that, or I used to talk like that, or I used to walk like that, or I used to do that, and that type of thing. So it's very, very difficult getting close to him. It's very hard. There are going to be a lot of tears. There are going to be a lot of days where it's just like, dang, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's what pushed you closest to him. And I can't say that's what pushed me closer. Our relationship got close because I was vulnerable with him. I was intimate with him. I was telling him like, hey, I'm mad at you right now, or I'm crying, and what you got me doing, and that type of thing. But it's so important for us to realize that he's here at all times. He's always here. He's always around. He's just that guy. He's just that guy. What does 1111 mean to you? So my grandmother was an entrepreneur. She passed away November 11th, 2022. I love my grandmother down. I love her so much. She was such an amazing person. She did hair salons, real estate, daycares. Like, she was a beast. She was a boss. So I didn't realize how much it really meant to me until she was gone, which is so crazy because everything business that I'm doing is my grandmother. Like, literally spitting image. So 1111 means everything to me, per se. It's who I am, actually. What changes in your life did you see when you strengthened your relationship with God? Like I said, love, 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 the questions about God. Yes. I saw a lot of changes, especially when it comes to changes within myself. I seen me, stepping out into someone that I never wanted to be. I always kept who I was private. Nobody know who I really am until you step into my home, my comfort zone, my atmosphere. You won't really know who I am. Like, a lot of people, say that I'm closed off or I'm standoffish or, things like that. I'm not a really an outgoing person. I mean, I can talk to people all day long, but I'm very, very shy. I'm very, very shy. But now I'm starting to realize that I need to shed that off. That's one thing that changed in my life. I talk different. Like, I used to be very, very aggressive, very what firecracker. I used to be so bad. Oh my gosh, used to be so bad. So I'm very soft now. I used to be all the time. So now I'm not like that. I don't really curse. I mean, I don't curse at all. I mean, sometimes I'll slip up, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. So I don't really curse anymore. I used to smoke too. I used to smoke all the time. And then I went over to weed pens. So I stopped doing that, and then I stopped having to urge to do that stuff as well. Stop drinking. When I was in college, oh my gosh, I used to be drunk all the time. And it was just because it was nothing else for us to do. I mean, class was over. The grades was good. I mean, let's get drunk. But now, I don't really, deal with that anymore. Also, I don't really move in chaos like I used to. Now I'm walking in full peace, and I'm realizing what that looks like. I used to operate in chaos because that's what I grew up in, and that's what I experienced for a lot of the time. So now, as I'm walking with him, he wants me to have that peace, and he's been giving it to me. My whole just demeanor is just different. If you knew me before this, you'd be like, but now it's just I don't act that way anymore. I don't act that way anymore. This is a really funny question. How tall am I? I am actually 4'9" and a half. Don't forget the half. But yes, I am 4'9". But let's not joke a little bit, too much. My mom is 4'11", and I believe, don't quote me, ask my sister, my dad is 5'4", maybe 5'5". Not really sure, ask my sister. What are my hobbies? Baby, I like being in the house. I can't lie. I like being in the house. I love just sitting in the house, lighting my candles, listening to music, admiring my flowers, watching a little bit of Grey's Anatomy. Love Grey's Anatomy. I can watch that all day long for the rest of my life if I could do that. So yeah, I love being in the house. Love going to the gym. The gym has turned into a mental thing for me, and I have to go. I absolutely have to go. I like going out to eat by myself all the time. I like trying new restaurants. Fashion, I love to shop. I love, 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 love to shop and get dressed and just be fly. I love to do that. I love to play the game. I have a PlayStation. I've had a game system since I could remember. I love to cook as well. I love to cook because I feel like cooking is just so vibey. You know, you in your own kitchen, your music going, like, you know, I just love it. This is a great question. If you had any advice to give to your younger self, what would it be? Talk to everybody. It's always about who you know. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Walk in kindness. Still be your energetic self. People actually love that. No matter how much they say they hate it, they love it. Be kind to yourself. That is one thing that I'm really, really working on. I'm not really kind to myself as I should be because I really didn't have that, you know, as much as I would have wanted. So, yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Be calm and you know, love yourself even when you have those shortcomings or those feelings or things like that. So that's the biggest thing. Just, you know, be kind to yourself. What do you think your biggest flaw is? I'm very self-centered. I'm very, very self-centered. And I only know that recently because somebody just told me. But I realized why I'm self-centered. And that comes from me always being by myself. Like all the time. Like I grew up by myself all the time. I mean, I have an older sister, but my sister was more like my mom rather than my sibling. So I was always by myself. I didn't really have anyone to either tell me that I was wrong, tell me how they would feel, tell me what I should do differently, or anything like that. So I only care about how I feel. I don't really care about how other people feel. And I realized that that was an issue once I started getting closer to God as well. You know, he starts to prune you a little bit. And it's bad. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. But I am walking in it so that I can get through it. So I'm starting to, you know, see all of the ways that I can improve. Also, communication. Like I said, I never had to do anything with anyone else. It's always been like me. Me. Even now, yes, I'm here by myself, but there are people in my surrounding area who need me to have effective communication so that things can flow the way that they should. This is going to be my last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Baby, rich. I mean, grown, a woman of God, and rich. That's the best way I can put it. That's the best way I can put it. Because, okay, for one, grown. It's just something about being a grown woman that just gives me like, period. Like, I love that down. 2, a woman of God, walking in my faith more, trusting him more, you know, being more intimate with him, being more available to him, being more kind to myself because of him. So just him. Like in every aspect of my life. My business, my personal life, my family, all the things. And then rich, I won't say rich, I'll say rich in Christ, because my father is wealthy. I mean, he has so much stuff that he can give me so much stuff as well, because he has it and he loves me and I'm his child. So yes, so in 5 years, I'll be rich in Christ, a woman of God, and a grown woman. That is down. That is. So these are actually really great questions. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the getting to know Logan as much as I did. Make sure you stay tuned for what we have coming up for you guys. I hope you guys have a great night, a great, fantastic day. See you guys soon.